The beginning of the 20th century was an exciting time for many innovative entrepreneurs and adventurers. The early beginnings of aviation were already firing people's imaginations as the race across the English Channel by air had begun. In Cambridge, brothers Horace and Percival Wallis were already demonstrating the necessary credentials needed to join this race.
Well, actually, the family business was tea importing and blending and wholesale grocery. But early in the century, Sunlight Soap Company offered a Rex motorcycle for an enormous number of coupons that went with Sunlight Soap. I mean, it's difficult to think anyone could be scrubbed that clean that they could get a motorbike from the coupons. But the two middle brothers, there were four brothers, but the two middle brothers became keen on getting this Rex motorcycle. So when they delivered a gross packet of Sunlight Soap, they'd give a penny or something for all the coupons, and they got a motorbike that way. But they then very soon became interested in racing with motorbikes, in the early days, of course, grass track and so on, and they soon were making their own motorcycle, making up the wheels and belt rims and so on, and they were quite successful. I have newspaper reports where they were racing and they sort of sorted out the opposition, then fought it out between themselves as to who was going to be first.
In 1908, Horace and Percival changed their attentions to aviation, and with a loan of £300 from their father, they began constructing their very own flying machine.
And it had a steel tube structure for the wings, like a ladder structure, but it had wooden ribs. But all the rest of it was the steel tube.
The brothers had already a keen interest in building motorcycles from steel tube and JAP engines, so the transition from road machines to air machines might not have seemed so great. With the Daily Mail offering £1,000 as a prize for the first powered flight from England to France, a good return on their father's money would have seemed extremely tempting. Unfortunately, their dreams of fame and fortune were short-lived, as on the 25th of July 1909, Frenchman Louis Blériot was first to complete the trip across the Channel. And the rest, as they say, is history. Undeterred, the Wallis brothers continued their work, and in 1910 the Walbro monoplane was completed. Test flights were completed from a field near Cambridge, and the machine was put on public display in May of that year. However, a violent storm put paid to any further escapades, as the shed housing the Walbro tragically collapsed and completely wrecked the machine inside.
My grandfather, who thought there was going to be a quick return on his investment, he was a bit tight on money, and he ordered his sons back to the family business. So that was the end of the original association with aeroplanes.
The brothers weren't disheartened for long though, as like their father, they were always looking for the next opportunity to combine profit with adventure.
In 1911 there were big exercises, army manoeuvres in East Anglia, and the army asked for volunteers, civilian volunteers